I used to do freestyles for my friends.
It's too dark.
Ever since I was younger, I wanted to escape. I always wanted to travel. Haven't done that yet, but I will be travelling next year in the summer, going interrailing with my best friends. So it'll kind of be a big deal because that's what I've wanted to do my whole life. Yeah, and I used to want to go to uni. I'd always say if I go to uni, which I didn't think I would, I'd go as far away as possible. As far as possible. And now I go to uni 25 minutes from where I live. My house used to be a button factory back in the day. And there's a river at the back of my house. And it used to run right where my conservatory was, and they used to wash their clothes in the river, just hang it out the little, now kind of glass thing that you could look through to my conservatory, but that used to be a window and they used to wash their clothes in that. I wanted to fucking move to like Australia and just leave everything, but I'm glad I didn't. You prefers this, but what do you think? I like this better. Fuck off. No, I just mean like I didn't know who I was, you know? Like part of growing up. My plant, my pickle plant. She's beautiful. She looks like she'd hurt you, but she's actually really soft and you can stroke her. And she's a beautiful plant. But the reason I have that plant is because someone in my life,
she had to move away.
So I bought her a plant and we've got the same one, same plant. So, because you can like stroke it, and it just like, I don't know, because I had her in my life for so long, it was obviously like really upsetting, and it still is. So I just thought that would be like a nice thing. We've both got the same plant and watch it like grow together and shit. Yeah. That's the story of my pickle plant.
Angle of the mirror. It's a cool one. Yeah, it's a cool one.
I'm a big fan of a jungle nymph, specifically the female. They're very large,
They're the heaviest type of stick insect, and they can weigh about as much as a small bird, and they've got these big spikes on their legs that they can hurt you with, and I really like them. Worst bug at the bug farm, probably the sun beetles, because they shat everywhere. As soon as you pick them up, they just do a really smelly shit all over your hands to try and make you put them down, and it just doesn't wash off. Not a fan of those. Cockroaches I think are wonderful. I think when people think they want a pet hamster, what they really want is a pet cockroach, because they like small spaces, you don't need a load of space for them. They like to be held, unlike hamsters. And I just think they're really cute. They're really nice. They eat bits of carrot and dog food, and they're good creatures. Misunderstood.
Much to everyone's disappointment, the UN exploded channel has returned from the depths of inactivity. Please sit back and enjoy. Thank you for your time and have a blessed day. Remember, I haven't seen the ocean in years.
You're welcome.
Have you ever met one?
I have met one. There was one at the bug farm, and yeah, it was my favourite one to hold.
Why don't you talk about some other bugs?
Okay.
Find the cat.
You're Gabriel Burt, and you're my friend. And you'll be one of my friends for my whole life. I don't give a shit.
Today, in the car with you two, a dream came to life. At the roundabout just before, like, coming off the main road, just before we went to Ewan's uni. Just then, I was like, oh shit, I remember this. I was like, I know what's about to be said. Lo and behold, Ewan said the exact sentence that I thought he would say. If you've seen it before in your dreams, it comes with this extra emotion when you see it physically, real life. It's there in front of you. I saw this post. It was just a random location. Seemed pretty eerie. It was, I want to say, a forest with the like factory setting. So like there was a sign saying deja vu. If you've experienced it whilst you're stood here, tell someone. That is all you have to do. Let them know. And it made me feel like, well, what do they know that we don't? Like, deja vu is just a feeling that, as far as I was aware before I've started having these thoughts, was just something that everyone experienced at some point in their life. They're like, huh, that happens. Like, that happens all the time. Someone's like, huh, that happens. So what do I do here? And you end up just living the same life. You've seen it before. There's no worry about it. You know what's about to happen. I feel that's where most worries come from, is the, I don't know.
A government sign about deja vu.
It was like a direction sign, right? Like a
Yeah,
you know.
the factory or
But like
whatever.
installed, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone meant to put it there.
Yeah.
They were like, oh.
Just in your dream, it was like, you know.
It wasn't in the dream though. Yeah, life is something that happens. I want my current belief. Dreams are just something that comes with it. People like to separate them. They are not separate. They are part of it. You experience life and dreams. You are awake. You spend a third of your life asleep. Everyone ignores a third of your life asleep. That's important. Your whole time you are sleeping.
Could only be in a dream. They don't matter.
Okay.
But the band, they were alright.
Ewan, jag körde till vignettes. A man if I think wrong. Are you gonna edit these videos? Or is that just getting your mind to just be quiet for a minute? Well, I don't know, I just don't think when I make the art. It kind of just comes out. I just don't plan it and then it just happens. But then when I look at it and when I finished, it's clearly an expression of however I'm feeling in that moment. Then when I'm in that moment, I don't even think about what my hands are doing, if that makes sense. Like I don't, like it just happens, and then I get really invested in it, but it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not, I just don't think about it, and it's really weird, I get into this state of like, zombiness, almost. Even though you'd think if you're creating something that's expressing how you feel, you'd think that you'd be thinking about that thing a lot. But then I just don't. I actually think about it less when I'm expressing it. But then sometimes that's why I quite like doing life drawing, or just drawing what I see, because I don't actually have to attach any emotions to it. And then looking back, because I got my old sketchbooks from GCSE and A-level, and I was looking at them, and then my mum was going through them, and I remember I grabbed one sketchbook and I was like, actually, just really don't need to look at that one because it's really deep and it's quite personal and it just reflects a really negative time in my life. And I don't want you to look at that one, but you can look at those ones or whatever. And it's like they hold such a negative feeling, and I feel like it just gets trapped in the art sometimes. So when I look over my old sketchbooks, I can really feel the way I was feeling when I was creating it, even though I wasn't thinking of it. Yeah, completely, because when you're happy, you don't really think, oh, I'm really happy. You just start, you just experience it. Unless you're a really depressed person, and then you get happy, and then you're like, actually, oh, I feel happy, and then you acknowledge that, but then that fear comes back of like, well, I know tomorrow I might not feel this happy. And then when you feel awful, it feels worse that you have been happy. Because you don't know when it's coming next. Yeah. I have nothing else to say. People can see how I feel without even expressing it, if that makes sense. If they understand it, because obviously some people do, some people don't. Depends how you view it. But like the last piece I did for my final exhibition, that was just like a representation of how I felt without having to explain myself and going into detail about things that most people just feel like they just wouldn't not understand. But I feel like there's a difference in people caring and listening to you, and there's a bit and actually understanding and realising what's going on, you know? Yeah, well, it's the same kind of thing, because, do you know, like, loads of people, they say, oh, you can't, like, therapy doesn't work for me, which is fine, obviously everyone's different, but for the first 2 years that I went to therapy, it didn't work, because I didn't really feel comfortable with opening up, and I didn't really acknowledge this until I was much older and got a better therapist that worked for me. And it's all about, like, you're not going to open up everything about yourself to people that you don't feel that, like, instant connection with, if that makes sense. Like, when I met Mary, we instantly, like, within the first week, we had all already unpacked all of our traumas mostly, but not in a trauma dump kind of way, but just in a way that we just got talking, and it just happened so naturally that we just felt that comfortable with each other. And then within the second week, I feel like I just already knew her and she feels the same. But then we always like talk about it, but it's crazy how we've only known each other for a year because it feels like we've known each other forever. Because we just showed that vulnerabilities. Like we were really vulnerable with each other. But then again, when you start doing that, you also get more attached to that person and get really reliant on them. You and I don't know what else to say.
There he is.
Fire boys, yeah. Yes.
This is a fucking shoot.
Why is it Are you actually going to drink all this right now? I finally arrived. Inshallah.
Well, for the past 20 years, my entire life, basically, my mum's run a shop on machynlleth High Street. And a few weeks ago, she announced that it would be closing forever. Which is kind of it's a bit weird for me to process, really, because that's, in my mind, like, that's what she does. That's all she's ever done while I've been alive. I don't really know what she did beforehand, actually. So yeah, that is a bit of a shock, but and it seems to have been quite a bit of a shock to most people in machynlleth. She's had like so many people coming in, and saying how sad they are and things. Have you been to the shop?
Yes, I have. I've been to your mum's shop.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like, it's really nice. It's like, it's one of the nicest shops ever.
It was good, yeah. It was nice. Fuck off.
But it's a very positive closure in a way. It's not like, oh, we're down in the dumps. We've got no money. Whatever. We're gonna have to close down. It's very positive. Like, we just want to move on, and that's why it's closing. Because my mum just wants to move on, do other things, get a proper job, I guess. So that's what she's going to do, but it's a period of lots of change is happening, which is scary. Obviously, change is always scary, but it's worth doing if you want to be fulfilled. Yeah, man. You, what?
I've got a big ping pong racket. What's this meant to be? This table looking thing.
Oh, it's a pizza. It's for putting pizza on.
Oh.
Obviously.
Now, how's that obvious? It's like you play ping pong with it.
It's round.
So are ping pong rackets.
I don't know what it's for. It's
Oh, so it was a joke.
No, that is what
You should
I'm probably
do work on your delivery
That's-
because I couldn't tell that was a joke.
That's probably what it's for, I would say.
Okay,
It's for presenting food.
right.
I would say, yeah.
So the handle then.
It's for carrying the food.
I think it's because for playing paintball with basketballs.
Maybe.
Ewan, what makes you feel fulfilled?
This is the answers to my questions.
No, I'm not answering your other two. They're pointless.
What?
Bye, Maury.